Why feminists love/hate gay bars. Hey, it's Prince of Queens, and I came across yet another completely insane feminist on social media claiming to some guy that she had, in fact, been sexually assaulted by gay men more times than she can count at gay bars. Due to the fact that she listed examples and one of those examples was tickling, we can assume she's a liar. Still, she proceeded to go on a gigantic tirade towards the man that she was arguing with, who basically just said that she seemed crazy, entitled, and like a control freak. She went on and on about how horribly gay men allegedly treat women at bars, and then had the audacity to simultaneously tell the guy that feminism is for everybody and that he needs feminism too. This struck a particular chord with me because, as I've mentioned a million times on my channel, I simply don't think that it is the case that gay men treat women horribly in most areas of life. And the worst type of horrible treatment women tend to get at any gay bar might be a few dirty looks and a doorman that clarifies to the woman that it's not a lesbian night that night. But of course, from what it would sound like if you look at the sizable and growing list of blogs and videos about how horribly misogynistic gay men supposedly are, gay men are putting their dirty mitts all over the female body non-stop every time a woman goes into a space primarily occupied by gay men. A likely story. These feminists are practically saying that gay men touch women even more than straight men by virtue of the fact that gay men think that they can get away with it. Obviously, this is untrue, and I've gone on about this a bunch in my videos, as this very rumor was one of the main things that motivated me to begin criticizing feminism. However, to give intellectual honesty to all of this, I figured I would try better to examine why exactly certain females began making this claim and trying to get inside the head of the women who complain on the internet about the occasional touching they might experience at the hands of gay men. How did we really get to this point? I asked myself today. The starting point that I want to go with is first that people tend to go out to bars, nightclubs, and music shows to be confronted with an unpredictable experience where they are open to differing viewpoints and individuals that they probably wouldn't encounter in their everyday life, behaving in a somewhat random way. Aside from the premise of drunken socialization, which will always be chaotic, and that's part of the fun, people still like to feel as if they have some element of control regarding their surroundings. Remember, heterosexual men and women undoubtedly choose certain bars for certain reasons. Some have nice pool tables, a good jukebox, friendly bartenders, and a nice smoking patio. Others have various sports games playing on big screens so you can keep track of multiple things at once if you're into that. Other bars are just hookup bars or music venues. People enter into these situations knowing what they are getting, but also knowing that they might meet a new person or two, or maybe even an entire group of friends, or a potential lover. Straight men, when going out to meet women, undoubtedly usually try to go to places where they know they will be likely to find the types of women that they are interested in. They'll likely go to a club that plays hip-hop, top 40, or throwback jams, because everybody can easily get drunk and dance to that stuff. In a lot of cities, many straight people go to the one or two gay nightclubs that straight people go to because the gay nightclubs have a good sound system, music that they like, a dance floor, and because it's easier for heterosexual people to meet each other if over 50% of the crowd is completely disinterested in women, which is usually the case at a gay bar. Still, most of the time, straight men tend to avoid going to gay bars because, in most cases, straight men don't want to be faced with the possibility that they might get hit on by a gay guy, as that would make them uncomfortable. And thus, by avoiding gay bars, a straight guy controls his night that way. Fair enough, right? He can avoid being hit on if he wants to. However, if a straight guy goes into a gay bar and freaks out if a guy begins flirting with him, then there's going to be a problem, and he's more than welcome to avoid the bar entirely. And most straight guys do. And they probably also get kicked out if they freak out on gay guys at gay bars. Conversely, women enter into heterosexual bar situations often because they are interested in meeting guys, but they generally realize that they are putting themselves in a situation where they cannot control absolutely every drunk straight guy that might be around them in a loud, dark room. Straight guys, like any guy, can get rather bad at taking hints that the female is disinterested in him, or even taking a clear no for an answer. And he might start annoying her, or worse, he might start putting his hands on her when it is not at all appreciated. And thus, we have bouncers. Bouncers, at straight bars especially, are very tuned in to the needs of the women at the bar, because a major portion of a bouncer's job at straight bars is making sure that all of the women are happy, and that the men are behaving themselves. So if a woman makes a sincere complaint, a man can usually expect to be escorted out immediately. Still, things do happen, and sometimes bouncers are busy, or they don't really care all that much if a guy can't take a hint. And so, many women end up going out to gay bars a lot because they want to drink and hang out with their friends without really having to worry about horny straight men bugging them. Going to a gay bar for any woman is thus a way of controlling her own evening. She knows that for the most part, she can get drunk, drop her guard, not worry about sending out signals to a gay man that she might want to sleep with him, and dance and have fun. Most women know what they are getting into, and that's why they went to a gay bar. However, at the same time, due to the fact that these bars are generally populated by an over 75% male population and a bar staff of gay men, the bouncers and bartenders do tend to prioritize the wishes and needs of the gay men that the bar was marketed for. Gay bouncers almost never have to kick a guy out because he won't leave a woman alone. It's simply not an issue. And if a woman gets drunk and somehow finds herself in a conflict with a gay man, often because somebody maybe accidentally spilled a drink on somebody or something, the bouncers are more likely to be inclined to side with the male than they would be at a straight bar. It's not that gay bouncers always side with dudes in conflicts, because let's face it, pretty much everybody hates it when women are upset, as people instinctually have a tendency to try to calm the woman down in such situations. However, when there's one drunk woman that a bouncer has never seen at the gay bar yelling at one of his regular customers because somebody spilled a drink accidentally, we all know who he is going to ask to leave. And so, when you look at this through the feminist lens and what happens when feminists start attending gay bars, well, things get different. And please, first keep in mind that when feminists blather on and on about the patriarchy and men's need to control women, that tends to be projection, as they are the relentlessly controlling ones. At first, feminists love gay bars because they have the control over their environment in the way that the gay men are indifferent to them. At straight bars, no matter how unattractive a woman might be, there's always a heterosexual guy equally as unattractive or drunk enough to think that he might be able to get his dick wet with the woman. But at a gay bar, feminists have an inherent control over how much male sexual attention they might receive. And considering that their preferred level of sexual attention from males tends to be zero, this is an environment that they already have an inherent level of pleasant control over. However, this can never last forever, because feminists will seemingly never be happy with simply existing in an environment that is naturally accommodating to their wishes. Eventually, it would seem that feminists will want a little bit more control, and they'll be very angry when they don't get what they have grown accustomed to as women. And so, eventually, that drink gets spilled. Let's say it was a crowded bar. The woman was holding her drink next to her while talking to her friend, and a guy who was talking to his friend was pushed up against her, and he elbowed it against her shirt, and it spilled all over her gigantic bosom. Oh my god, holy shit! Oh crap, did I spill your drink? I'm so sorry. Yes, watch it. Your elbows were nudging me for a while. Sorry, it's really crowded. Here's a napkin. And then he drunkenly proceeds to put the napkin on the side of her gigantic breast without thinking, because he's trying to pacify the situation. Whoa, okay, you do not have permission to touch me there? Oh, sorry, just here, you can do it yourself. Let me find you more napkins. I really don't need your help at this point. Sweetie, calm down. It was an accident. You touched my breast. I didn't think about it. I'm gay, remember? You felt permission to touch my breast. Oh, for fuck's sake. I was trying to help you clean up your drink. I was legitimately trying to be polite, but I wasn't thinking you'd freak out. Freak out? And finally, the bartender comes over. Sorry, are you guys all right over here? This asshole spilled my drink all over me and then started touching me. No, that's bullshit, Barry. It was an accident. I elbowed her drink and tried to help her clean it up, and now she's mad at me. I think she's drunk. Ma'am, I really think it was an innocent mistake. Do you want another drink? Ma'am? No, I think that this guy should be asked to leave. It is not acceptable to touch women's breasts that you don't even know. I wasn't touching your breast, I was touching your side. It was the side of my breast, you creep. Fucking male entitlement. I offered you a new drink. Take it or leave it. I'd like to speak to the manager. I'm the owner, and I think you need to leave now. And then, of course, the feminist goes home and posts all about this all over social media, telling everybody about her horrible experience with misogyny and sexual assault at a gay bar, and saying that everybody should boycott. And then her friends start saying, oh yeah, gay men grope me all the time. Why do they do that? I think it's because of their need to control women. Some of them are flat out lying, of course, about having been touched by gay men, and the woman was totally obviously spinning the story to make it sound like something different than what really happened, but that doesn't matter. You see, it's always about control with feminists, and the dishonest rumor that gay men are constantly sexually assaulting women was not just simply a fabrication designed to use as leverage to control us, but I would speculate is also a lie spawned from the vengeful nature of feminist women who were upset that they couldn't control a space in the way that they were used to. In straight bars, women know that bouncers prioritize their feelings much more so than any man at the bar. And that's the power that they are given to compensate for the power imbalance of being a smaller person in a room full of big people that might want to touch you inappropriately. Females grow used to the power of having the authorities on their side. And as we all know, some of them abuse that power. However, when that power is taken away from them, as it is pretty much unanimously unnecessary in a place like a gay bar, as gay men have no interest in doing bad things to women, thus, bouncers don't feel inclined to prioritize protecting women as their main concern. And then the feminists who no longer have that power will eventually become frustrated and potentially irate when they realize that they don't get to have their cake and eat it too. Feminists want to be able to go into a gay bar with the control of knowing that they won't get hit on like they would at a straight bar. However, they also want to be able to throw a fit and get their way unanimously, being assumed to be innocent if they ever get in a conflict with a man. And thus, I have to inform these ladies that they'll simply have to choose. You are more than welcome not to attend gay bars.